4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again here to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we are bringing you the 3D Concepts and Creations Chase for the Cup for the American iRacing Sunday Series, brought to you by Precision Racing League. That's right, it is time for the chase race number 1 here at Phoenix International Raceway. Taking a look here, we have our lineup for our chase. Right now in the chase here tonight is James O'Brien, Craig Hawkins, Dale Robertson, Johnny Pierce, Dustin Hall, Kyle Souza, John LaBeouf, Mr. Wall hitting himself, Paul D. Johnson, Stephen Harry, Brandon Walter, Eddie Hawks, and Zach York. That doesn't mean that everybody else is not going to be racing for the win. They want to come away with the win here in the first race of the chase. But those are our championship contenders here tonight. So as we take a look here once again, we only got less than 2 minutes left here in qualifying. And whoops, I forgot to open up my paints. So let's get those downloaded here, get all these fresh paints out. Don't want to make anybody angry with me. Once again, want to thank all the fans there watching live on iRacing.com, YouTube, and welcome coming here to Dre Broadcasting Network. My name's David Everly. I also got a good friend of mine here in the booth, Brandon Massey. Not going to be racing here tonight, but he is going to be up here in the booth giving us a little point from a driver's view. How you doing tonight, Brandon?
I'd be doing better if my connection would let me get in the car, but I'm not doing too bad, all things considered. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing pretty good. Kind of sad that you can't get in the car, but kind of glad you could come up here and join me tonight. Sean Zulu, unable to make it tonight due to internet issues, so Unfortunately, we're not going to have the copy of that here tonight, but we're still going to try to bring you an exciting race here as we're under 1 minute left in qualifying. And I tell you what, Dustin Hall out there has put down a heck of a lap, a 25.823. Actually, his best, though, is a 25.775. So good lap error by Dustin Hall. James O'Brien right behind him with a 25.781. Dale Robertson's currently sitting third with a 25.810. And Paul D. Johnson sitting there in fourth, 25.882, as these guys are going to be battling here at Phoenix. Question is, are they going to use that dog leg and go in coming out of turn number 1? So we're going to find out. These guys are going to be fighting for the win, fighting for the battle. So it should be an exciting race here tonight. Once again, want to thank everybody for coming out and joining us here on Dre Broadcasting Network. Let me pull up my little information here. There it is. So once again, in case you missed it, we've got James O'Brien, Craig Hawkins, Dale Robertson, Johnny Pierce, Dustin Hall, Kyle Souza, John LaBeouf, Paul D. Johnson, Stephen Harry, Brandon Walter, Eddie Hawks, Zach York. First, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that these guys have done a chase here in the Precision Racing League.
That is correct here, Dave. This is our first season implementing a chase-style format. We'll be doing this regularly. We have an even more fleshed-out chase for next season as well.
Most definitely, it's going to be interesting here as these guys qualifying is over. They're getting ready to grid up. We're going to give these cars a few minutes here to get all grid up. We're going to go down the starting order. Give me one moment here while I get it pulled up. All right, here we go. Starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting on pole here tonight, 37 Dustin Hall, James O'Brien starting in second position. Starting third tonight, Dale Robertson, Paul D. Johnson starting in fourth. Starting fifth, John LaBeouf, Josh Mayu starting there in sixth position. Seventh is going to be the 99 of Brandon Walter, 28 of Eric Roberts starting eighth. Starting ninth, David Dreckman. Matthew Cisna starting in your 10th position. Eddie Hawks will be rolling out 11th position. Logan Runyon starting in 12th. Starting 13th, Johnny Pierce. Brandon Massey's on there, but he's not going to be racing. Ken Caruthers, Zach York, Jim Westerfield, Chris Perez, Craig Hawkins, Ronald McManus going to round out the field here tonight as they are now rolling off pit road, getting ready to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight. Oh, I can't wait. As we are taking a look here as they are side by side getting ready to go green flag racing here at Phoenix. This is the 3D Concepts and Creations Chase for the Cup Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series. As they are getting ready, pace car is getting ready to dip off. Pace car is off as they are keeping bunched up. Dustin Hall on the inside, James O'Brien on the outside. As the green flag flies, we are green flag racing here tonight. 135 laps around here at Phoenix to see who's going to come away with the first win of the chase as James O'Brien gets a great run there on the outside as he's able to clear Dustin Hall. He is going to take that point. Here comes Dale Robertson. He is going to keep at third position, keeping Paul D. Johnson behind him there. So it's definitely going to be interesting as these guys are going to be battling it out. James O'Brien, definitely one of the favorites here tonight. Actually, he's pretty much a favorite every night. He is fast, but Dustin Hall is quick too. Anything can happen as we have seen, as we see Dale Robertson, Paul D. Johnson using that dog leg there as they are battling there in second position. Going a little further back here, as it looks like everybody's pretty much getting single file here. Not really no action out on the track here. Well, we got a little slower traffic here in the back. Not sure what happened, but we've seen a little double 2-3 wide here. So looks like we have 17 cars out on the track here. Ronald McManus leading up the back of the field there, but don't fret. He could be making his way. Jim Westerfield in the 29 machine running back here in 15th position. I'll tell you what, looking at Craig Hawkins, look at him. He's all pink and white. Good looking car there as he's sitting back in 16th position. Johnny Pierce, another contender in that 16 Holmes. Well, he's in a Commodore machine now. Thought it was a Lowe's machine. Looks a lot like the Jimmy Johnson Lowe's machine, but he is out there battling in 11th position, trying to make his way up through the field here. Is right now James O'Brien has led every lap here so far. We've only ran 4 laps as they are getting ready to complete lap number 5. 131 laps to go. Hopefully we'll get to see some green flag pit stops here tonight. Okay, I do apologize if you get a little bit of buffering. Not sure what is happening. I think my internet connection probably is not the best tonight, so I am going to work on that. I do apologize if you experience any buffering out there tonight. I definitely will be working on that, trying to get that fixed here. Taking a look here at the chat, we got Bryson Dykes out there in the chat, Mr. Gibbs, George Gibbs out there. How you doing there, guys? Welcome to the race here tonight. Once again, I do apologize, having a little bit of technical difficulties. If you're experiencing a little bit of buffering out there tonight, I definitely apologize. But we are going to keep calling the action here as we got James O'Brien still out front. Got Dustin Hall sitting second, Dale Robertson third, Paul D. Johnson fourth. John the Buff right now, your top 5. Matt Cisna out in the chat there. Sorry about that, guys. It seems a lot of people are having some internet connection issues here tonight. Actually, I've heard of a lot of people all over definitely experience some internet issues. Taking a look here, still pretty single file. Not seeing any too wide action here. Got a lot of guys close to one another here as we see the 45 of Eddie Hawks. He is working the back end there of Zach York for the 9th and 10th position. Ken Carruthers, he is all over that back door of Craig Hawkins back there in 14th position. And that looking good in that Monster Energy Toyota Camry. He is just kind of riding right here. Got a long race. So definitely Brandon, what would you think is a good idea for a driver is definitely starting out the start of a race, especially the first race of the chase?
Oh, definitely at a track like Phoenix here with barely any banking. It's really easy to get really loose. So I'd be doing what a lot of these guys are doing now. I'd just duck in single file, bide my time, and wait for some openings to come into effect.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to really push too hard right now. Like we said, you know, we still got 124 laps to go. So it's definitely interesting, that's for sure.
Looks like Dale Robertson just took second from Dustin Hall.
Yes, he did. He made that pass there cleanly as Dustin Hall just drops back in. Well, I mean, I tell you what, I've seen like other drivers, what they like to do. They like, if someone wants that position, they'll kind of let them go. And then that driver will kind of see what kind of line they're running. I mean, you definitely got to have your mind open and learn some things. Because, you know, if a driver's definitely doing better than you, you kind of want to see what line they're running to see if it can definitely learn a little something here, especially with a flat track here like Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. If I'm not comfortable in a race, I'll start out riding in the back, filling out the lines like you said, and then once I feel comfortable, I'll hit that go button.
Oh, most definitely. There's looks like from what Mr. Gibbs there is saying, he just about every broadcast with iRacing's been having some internet issues, so we'll try to get through it the best we can here tonight as we are live on the iRacing portal here on iRacing.com/live. Also live on the YouTube at Dre Broadcasting Network on YouTube. So this is chase race number 1 here. 15 laps in the books, and we got 120 laps to go. So, Brandon, you probably ran some practice. So, what are we looking at about a pit window for fuel?
I never got that far, actually, Dave, before my connection died out. I don't really have a general idea.
I mean,
That's usually the last thing I test as a driver is my fuel window.
Definitely got to check that, but I'm probably going to say these guys are probably going to run 30, 35 laps. As it looks like the 41 of Chris Perez, he is going down pit road. I'm not really seeing any damage on his car. I don't know if maybe it's an early pit stop there.
If you're right about the 30, I would say that's right about their window. So that's usually in the window that's usually at most of these tracks in the sus.
Yeah, most definitely. But I tell you what, James O'Brien, though, he's pulled out to about a 1.2 second lead over Dale Robertson. Dustin Hall, he's fell back about a second behind Dale Robertson, but he's got Paul D. Johnson starting to climb all over that back bumper of his.
Oh, yeah. Paul will find a way to make his way up there. I guarantee it. He is probably my pick to win tonight if he can manage to get past James, who is also his teammate.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, watching Paul D. Johnson from last season to this season, he is having a much better season this season. I did see that he kind of struggled at first last season, especially with the switch that you guys made going from fixed setup to open setup. But he is having a much better season as he has got himself here into the chase.
Paul is one of those, he will never give up.
Yeah, I've had the luxury of talking to Paul outside of iRacing. Good fellow there, definitely a good fella. Fun to kind of be around. I mean, we've kind of played on some other games there. You were a part of that. Had some good times there goofing off. But as you said, he never gives up. He gets something in his head and he just sticks with it.
And speaking of that, too, his wife just gave birth to their baby daughter, too. So that's even more motivation for him to get out there and show him how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, his daughter even kind of held off the delivery just so he could get out here and race with us last week. But he's out here. He's got that beautiful little girl now at home. So he'd like to come away with a win here just for his little girl. So, I mean, eventually I think we'll see a Miss Paul Johnson, a little Paula Johnson there out here on the track before too long. Going back to the race, everybody's still pretty single file, not seeing any real action here, as it looks like Eddie Hawks was able to get around Johnny Pierce. He's sitting there in 10th. Johnny Pierce sitting in 11th. Jim Westerfield, haven't really talked much about him. He is running there in 12th. He did start back in 16th position, so he's already gained a few positions. He is actually, it looks like Johnny Pierce now making the pass on Eddie Hawks to jump his way up into the top 10.
Looking at these timings here, Dave, it looks like Dale Robertson is starting to close the gap on James O'Brien up front.
Yes, he has. He was over a second behind. He is now only 0.8 of a behind. So maybe James O'Brien. I do realize that you know, a lot of times James, he'll run hard in the first stint just to see what the car will do, especially in the clean air, and then he kind of conserves it. So he may have really burned his stuff off there. You know, taking a look, he's got the best lap of the night with a 25.926, which is actually a really good time in a race. The next nearest guy is actually Dale Robertson. He's his fastest lap so far is a 26.007. So he's about 8/100ths of a difference between as far as fastest lap. But looks like he's keeping a pretty consistent distance there between him and James O'Brien. As we are closing in, we probably got about, I'd say about another 10 laps before we start seeing some green flag pit stops here. Guys on lap 26 of 135, 26 laps since the start of the race here. As we see James O'Brien, he is actually getting ready to put down the 78 of Ronald McManus, already down a lap here just in the first 20-some laps. So James O'Brien, I tell you, him and Dale Robertson have pulled away from Dustin Hall. I mean, they are looking almost 2.5 seconds behind them. Dustin Hall is. So Dale Robertson and James O'Brien, man, they are putting on a blistering pace here tonight.
Oh, yeah, looks like James had to check up slightly for that lap down vehicle, which let Dale really close that gap on him.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about being fast is you start getting into that lap traffic. It can either hurt you or help you, but as you said, that caused James O'Brien, he had to check up just a little bit, but that little bit of a checkup there for that lap car let Dale Robertson close in. He's now only 4/10 behind him. So Dale Robertson can kind of smell the blood in the water there, kind of like a shark, as he is closing in on James O'Brien. But actually, James O'Brien's starting to increase that gap. He's now at, you know, a little over a half a second and growing on him. So he's now starting to pull away from Dale Robertson. So, but these guys are getting ready to come up on their first round of green flag pit stops. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, talking about pit stops here, Brandon, what would you think these guys will do on the first round? You think they're going to take all four, or you think they're going to try maybe 2 rights, 2 lefts?
Oh yeah, once these drivers get past, I would say maybe 8 laps on their tires, they're gonna go 4 all the way. At a track like this, especially, it's very abrasive. You're not gonna get away with 2. I see you full tank, full fresh tires.
So you don't think anybody's going to try the 2-tire hero strategy here tonight?
I would be very amazed if someone did. Yes.
Well, I tell you what, in my time at iRacing, nothing will surprise me. So, to be honest, I think somebody might try maybe a 2-tire just to make up a little bit of time. But then again, it also depends on how many laps you got left. This early in the race, no reason to risk it. No reason to risk wrecking your car because you guys don't have any quick fixes. So, you know, any damage you get, they got to sit on pit road and get fixed. Taking a look back through the field here, you got Dustin Hall sitting here in 3rd. He's got Paul D. Johnson right behind him, but definitely can't count out that 911 of John LaBeouf, though. He's sitting there in 5th. He's got Eric Roberts right behind him, but you can't count out 911 of John LaBeouf because he may be just sitting back there riding, but he's eventually going to make his way up to the front. So, I mean, a lot of good drivers here, so definitely can't count out any of these drivers because we say in racing, anything could happen, so.
All it takes is missing your pit stall, and it's game over.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think something as minor as missing your pit stall and having to back up, but those little bit of seconds, man, they make up a lot of time, especially if you're under a green flag pit stop.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you roll through your box, you could lose half the track in distance to the guy you pitted in behind.
All right, once again, everybody experiencing some internet issues there as Brandon was kind of going a little robotic on us. So don't mind that. Just unfortunate, something that we can't control, considering this is an online simulator. So, you know, internet is a key part here. Taking a look, still 17 cars out on the track. We've got 2 cars. Chris Perez, he is currently back in 17, 2 lap down. Ronald McManus currently 1 lap down here. Is looks like nobody. Well, Chris Perez came in, but he came in about 17 laps ago, so he's trying a little bit of a different pitch strategy. As we see right now, Jim Westerfield and the 19 of Zach York, they're battling out bumper to bumper here. They come through the dog leg into turns 3 and 4 here. So definitely interesting. So this will be interesting of how this is going to play out. James O'Brien still out front. He has led 35 laps so far here tonight. So we're in pit strategy now. Probably within the next 5, maybe 10 laps, maybe. Seeing pit stops. We'll see how guys feel, how their cars are handling once these tires start wearing. Now, Precision Racing League, we are in the chase for the championship right now. The 3D Concepts and Creations chase for the Cup. So that means their season's coming to an end. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if this is a league that interests you, they do run open setups. What they are going to do at the end of the season, they are going to have a race your way in. So they are going to be taking some new drivers. Definitely go check them out at precisionracingleague.com. Check them out, sign up, and see if you can race your way in with these guys. They're always looking for some good drivers. All right, so we are looking 39 laps done. We are 96 laps to go. These guys still running. Let's see, last lap here, James O'Brien ran a 27.346, which actually was not the fastest lap on the track. Dustin Hall actually put down the fastest lap with a 27.2. So Dustin Hall there back in third position. He's starting to make up a little bit of ground, but he is still over 3 seconds behind James O'Brien and about 2.5 seconds behind there to Dale Robertson. Now, Dale Robertson, he is keeping pace there with the 9 of James O'Brien. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, having a little bit of technical problems here. I'm going to try to get the iRacing. I have lost the screen, so I do apologize. Give us one moment here while I try to get the race back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We are back up and running. We have got everything going here, so hopefully no more hiccups tonight. We are currently under caution for the first time here tonight. Is we got Dale Robertson out on front, so unfortunately I didn't get any of the pit, but it looks like Dale Robertson beat out the 9 of James O'Brien off pit road. Paul D. Johnson going to be sitting third. Brandon Walter, he has moved up into the 4th position. And John the Buff, he is rounding out your top 5 here tonight. Lap 48. And unfortunately, it looks like my lap counters is not working properly here, so. But we are on lap 48 of 135 here tonight. Looks like the lights on the pace car are now off, getting ready to go green flag racing. Once again, thanks for sticking through the technical difficulties. Hopefully that'll be the last one here tonight. But fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Getting ready to go back green flag racing as they come through turn number 4. Getting ready to go. Pace car is now off. Dale Robertson wastes no time onto that throttle. Is James O'Brien did not see that coming, but he is going to maintain the 2nd position. But a little behind him, we got some battle with Eddie Hawks here, John the Buff. And looks like, not sure who also is up there. The 99 of Brandon Walter there. So the 29 of Jim Westerfield, there is Johnny Pierce. He has moved up into 8th. Ken Carruthers sitting there in 9th. Dustin Hall, he has dropped back in. Oh, Pierce. Johnny Pierce goes around. He has just lost it. 19 of Zach York, 28. Let's see if we can get that on replay here. See exactly what happened. But Johnny Pierce just lost it coming into the turn. As we pull up the Dre broadcast and instant replay, we are going to focus right here on the 16 of Johnny Pierce, as he just lost it. The back end just kicked around there coming out of turn number 4. Tried to save it, got into the wall. Looked like the 19 there. Let's see what happened to him, as he went around as well. So he was riding behind, but looked like he was trying to save it, maybe a little too hard on the brakes. 41 there, Chris Perez also involved. Looks like maybe a little bit of damage there on the 23 of Craig Hawkins. And that is going to be our 2nd caution here of the night. His pit road looks like it's open, but Dale Robertson is going to stay out. Same with James O'Brien and Paul D. Johnson. But Ken Carruthers, Dustin Hall, Josh Mayu, Zach York, Craig Hawkins, Johnny Pierce, all going down on pit road. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the 3D Concepts and Creations Chase for the Cup, PrecisionRacingLeague.com, American iRacing Sunday Series. So definitely first race of the chase, as these guys got some battling to go out. 78 laps remaining here, as we are on lap 53 here tonight. Well, that was 2 quick cautions after a good green flag stint there, Brandon. Definitely, maybe the old saying, cautions breed cautions?
Looks like it there, Dave. Hopefully we can get some more green flag racing in here.
Yeah, most definitely. I have a feeling these guys will get settled out, get into that green flag stay here. But we now have a new top 5. Dale Robertson still leading. James O'Brien up second. Paul D. Johnson third. Brandon Walter fourth. John LaBaff rounding out your top 5 here tonight.
It'll be interesting to see here how good of, actually, never mind. That was bad information, sorry.
Oh, come on, Brandon. Calm down, man. So it looks like the lights on the pace car are now off, getting ready to go back green flag racing. That's a good thing here with a short track. It's only a mile track here at Phoenix. Cautions tend to go quick here. So we are back 1 to green, getting ready to go green flag racing here on lap 54, coming on the lap 55. 75 laps to go, still in tonight's race. First race chase here, we are going to be coming to green. Dale Robertson, he has got 7 laps led under his belt here tonight, but he's got James O'Brien, Paul D. Johnson, Brandon Walter right there behind him, ready to take that lead from him as he comes out of turn number 4, getting ready to go, waiting for the pace car. Pace car is off. Dale Robertson wastes no time. Here comes Paul D. Johnson. He saw it coming, but he is just going to jump up right behind James O'Brien as they were fighting to go single file here. A little further back, though, we've got some double wide here. Oh, are we going to see 3 wide here with Ken Carruthers? No, he backs it down. Is the 33 of David Dreckman staying high, letting everybody go down underneath. 23 of Craig Hawkins. I tell you what, Dustin Hall, though, he don't count him out. He's back here in 8th, but he's got to work his way around the field here. As it looks like the 99 of Brandon Walter, he's getting past here. Is right now Jim Westerfield looking to his inside. Is they're preferring the inside lane to get around here as he goes through the dog leg. He's also got the 37 of Dustin Hall. Are we going to see, 3 wide into the final turn, a little bump there by Dustin Hall and Brandon Walter, but they keep him going straight there as Dustin Hall is actually going to hold off the 29 of Jim Westerfield. Getting a little dicey a little early here, Brandon.
Oh yeah, they're getting a little racy. That was a good job, all 3 drivers, to actually keep it together. This is a very hard track to go 2 wide on, let alone 3 wide.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you had a little bumping, but they say bumping is racing, definitely. Looks like everybody kind of settled down, back down to single file here. Here on lap 58 of 135. "78 laps to go here tonight. We have completed 59 already, 77 laps to go. Dale Robertson now leading over James O'Brien. He's actually pulled away. James O'Brien now 8 tenths behind him. He's probably not pushing the issue, but you got Paul D. Johnson back there as well. Also Eddie Hawks. It looks like Dustin Hall, he is looking to get around the 911 of John LaBeouf. He is going to clear him, but John LaBeouf thinking about maybe trying the crossover. Nope, not close enough to do it, as Dustin Hall is going to move up into the top 5 once again.
I tell you, Dale is going to try to stay up front as long as he can, even if he burns his tires up in this run, because coming into this race, from the regular season, each driver, each win they got, netted them 3 bonus points. So James O'Brien came in here with the lead of 1,009. Dale slightly behind with 1 win at 1,003. He's trying to get as many bonus points as he can so he can close that gap in on James.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, Brandon, a little bit, do they give bonus points here in the chase for leading laps or leading the most laps or anything
Currently,
like that?
at this point in this new iteration, no, we don't. We keep the regular season points, and during the regular season, they earn bonus points.
Ah, so no bonus points for leading laps here, but as you said, he wants to stay out. He needs to keep the 9 of James O'Brien, who I must say is one of the favorites to win the championship. So he's got a good shot at winning, but Dale Robertson would love to come away with the first win of the chase to kind of give him a little bit of a bump in ego, I guess you can say.
Yeah, just to clear that up, when I said the chase itself has no bonus points, we still have the bonus points we give out normally. So by leading a lap, he's automatically got himself 1 bonus point. But if he can manage to stay in front of James long enough and lead the most laps, then he's going to get an additional 2 bonus points. So he's really got to stay up there as long as he can and try to outdo James there.
Well, yeah, I mean, James O'Brien has already led 46 laps here tonight. Dale Robertson, he's at 16, so... And, I mean, we've only got 73 laps to go. That doesn't mean that somebody else can't get out here and, you know, start running away with it as well.
Oh, yeah, it's still anybody's game, especially here. One mistake, it's over. It's very hard to be consistent here.
Looks like the 45 of Eddie Hawks. He's tired of sitting back there in 6th. He's on that back deck lid of the 911 of John LaBeouf. He is looking to get around him there. John LaBeouf pulls away, but looks like Eddie's maybe got a better entry as he closes that gap. But John LaBeouf definitely seems to be getting the better exit.
Oh, yeah, it definitely seems like John is really getting him on exit when Eddie's getting him on entry there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a little bit of treat. We're going to go here on the cockpit with the 45 of Eddie Hawks. We're going to watch him a lap or two, see what he's doing to try to get around this track here. As he's still trying to get up to the 911 of John LaBeouf. As you see, it looks like his car's sliding up there a little bit. As you see, he has got to put in some major wheel around that turn. Definitely here in racing, the less you have to move your wheel, the faster you're going to be. Definitely that means you don't have to scrub your tires as much, so you can maintain more speed. But, you know, definitely looking at the wheel movement there, a little bit better that time. He didn't have to turn it as sharp as he did the last time around there. He actually made up a little bit of time there on the 911 of John LaBeouf.
Yeah, I'm watching his speeds through the corners there, and from my practice this week, it looks like he was pushing up because he maybe just bringing a little bit too much speed into the corners. It's like he got really good slowed up that last time, so it helped him really rotate there on exit.
Yes, we see the 29 there, Jim Westerfield. He got around the 45 of Eddie Hawks, bumping him back down to the 7th position. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are 68 laps to go as we are approaching the halfway point of tonight's race. Actually, we're on lap 68 with 68 laps to go, so we are halfway. We're going to go ahead and step away for our first commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to Dre Broadcasting Network as we are bringing you the 3D Concepts and Creations Chase for the Cup, PrecisionRacingLeague.com, American iRacing Sunday Series here at Precision Racing League. That's right, first race of the chase. Now, in case you don't know, here's how this is going to work. The 12 drivers will have their points set at 1,000 each. Each win a driver has at the end of the regular season will earn them 3 bonus points. Now, there is going to be 4 rounds total. At the end of round 2 of the playoffs, the bottom 6 of the contenders will be dropped from the championship picture, and the top 6 will be battling out for the next 2 races. There's 4 races here in the race for the chase race. So right now, taking a look at those once again that are in the chase. James O'Brien, Craig Hawkins, Dale Robertson, Johnny Pierce, Dustin Hall, Kyle Souza, John the Buff, Paul D. Johnson, Stephen Harry, Brandon Walter, Eddie Hawks, and Zach York. They are battling it out for the championship. As you look in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the trophy that they are battling out for. That is created by the 3D Concepts and Creations, also the 911 of John the Buff. So they will be battling out for that championship that will be presented to the season champion at the end of the final round. Taking a look here, we have James O'Brien. He was able to get around the 3 of Dale Robertson, take over the lead here on lap 81 of 135. That means we've got 54 laps to go. Dale Robertson sitting second, Paul D. Johnson third, sitting there in fourth, Dustin Hall, John the Buff fifth, Jim Westerfield sitting sixth, Ken Kruger seventh, Brandon Walters sitting in eighth, Craig Hawkins ninth, Josh Mayu rounding out your top 10 right now. As we see the leaders getting around, that's the 78 of Ronald McManus. He is going 1 lap down, the first car a lap down. Fortunately, Johnny Pierce, though, he was involved in that spin. He is currently a lap down. 12 cars left back out on the lead lap as James O'Brien has led so far 56 laps here tonight. Dale Robertson leading 26. Actually, well, no. The only one that's got a chance of beating James O'Brien for leading the most laps is the Dale Robertson. But he has got to get back up and get around him because James O'Brien has pulled out 1.2 seconds gap between him and Dale Robertson.
He's got his work cut out for him, too. I've raced here with James for multiple seasons, and James is a hard one to beat.
Well, now he's got to worry because he's got the 14 of Paul D. Johnson starting to breathe down his neck there on Dale Robertson. He is looking, still running top 3 here tonight. Definitely would be a good start to the chase, but he is running there in third. He'd like to gain those extra point there by maybe coming away with a second or even a win. So looking here, 50 laps to go. I think it's going to be time. Let's go to a little blimpy cam here as we go through the field here. Not really seeing too much action here with Dustin Hall and them. Let's go a little further back here. Jim Westerfield running in fifth. He's got the 911 of John the Buff behind him. A little further back here, Brandon Walters. Ken Carruthers running. He's got Craig Hawkins right there behind him. Also the 78 of Ronald McManus, who is a lap down. Josh Mayo, he's sitting there in 10th. And take a look there. Eddie Hawks has dropped back to 11th. David Dreckman, he is running currently in 12th. As we said, we got Ronald McManus, Johnny Pierce, 1 lap down. Chris Perez, he is 2 laps down. Zach York, 3 laps down. I'm not sure. Looks like Eric Roberts may have called it in tonight. He is currently 33 laps down and still on pit road. As we take a look at the blimp view there, you see the lead that James O'Brien has. 1.8 seconds between him and second place. Well, actually, here comes Paul D. Johnson. He dives it down underneath the 3 of Dale Robertson. But Dale Robertson, he is going to pinch him down as he gets a good run off the turn. He's got a sling like a slingshot there.
You got to show up earlier than that to get past Dale. He's a hard one to get by.
Yeah, it looked like
Very good racer.
Paulie Johnson had him there, but Dale Robertson, he kind of pinched him down there, which I think forced Paulie Johnson to kind of back off the throttle a little bit because he didn't want to push up and just end both of their race.
Very smart move by Dale there to keep Paul pinned down. You got Dustin making a move on Paul now.
Yeah, Dustin Hall, we've seen him running up front earlier. He's sitting there as he's trying to get around Paulie Johnson. These guys are kind of swapping, but it just doesn't seem, I mean, even if you can get down to that inside, if that guy that's on the outside could pinch you down there, you just don't get the good run off the exit of the turn.
Like Dustin just executed that pass cleanly on Paul Johnson.
Yeah, but that looked like Paul might have almost gave him a little bit of bump there. Look, I'm not sure, but it looked like maybe a little bump, but no harm, no foul, right?
That is correct. Look, he was just saying hello.
Just letting him know he's still there. But still can't count out Paulie Johnson, though. But I tell you, Dale Robertson, though, while those two were battling, he gained him a little bit of 7/10 now. But Dustin Hall's actually closing that down. It's was over 0.8 of a second. Now he's down to 7.5 tenths, and actually still gaining on the three of Dale Robertson. So Dustin Hall, he is making a move here now.
You may have been right. Dale may have used his stuff up a little early on to try to stretch out that lead as long as he could. Now it's starting to show.
Yeah, most definitely. I have a feeling because, you know, Dustin Hall, he's closed up 2/10 in the last lap. He is now just a half a second, and he's actually bringing the Paulie Johnson about lost it on the exit of that turn.
He also may see a pit here soon, so that may shake things up if we get closer to that 100.
Yeah, taking a look here, 42 laps to go. We've seen these guys go 38 laps before. I think it was the caution. They were about 38 to 40 laps, so they're about in that pit window where they could pit and be able to make it the remainder of the race.
As a driver, I try to leave about 30 laps for the end of the race and try to leave that as my segment, so you probably will see some of these guys do that as well. Maybe a half 100 to 105, you may see guys start peeling down.
Well, we're at lap 95, so we're going to keep an eye on this to see if we can get these green flag pit stops. 41 laps to go here tonight. We've had 2 cautions here tonight. Let's take a look at our race report as Paulie Johnson breaks off. He's coming down on pit road. Brandon Walter also joining him down on pit road. So it looks like we've got green flag going here, still being led by the 9 of James O'Brien, followed by Dale Robertson. Dustin Hall, he is 6/10 behind Dale Robertson as he is looking in that Utah machine as he is trying to close in on Dale Robertson to take away that number 2 spot. Paulie Johnson now coming off pit road. Don't have any other takers, so he may be short pitting it, hoping to get those fresh tires to make up that ground. We'll see as James O'Brien still pushing out in the lead. 77 laps led. We are looking 38 laps to go. Actually, right now, mathematically, nobody can pass James O'Brien. He has led the most laps here tonight. James O'Brien still going out. Let's take a look here at Dale Robertson. He's still going. Dustin Hall sitting there in third. actually losing a little bit of ground. He is now a second behind Dale Robertson. Jim Westerfield, he has moved up into fourth. John LaBeouf, fifth. Ken Carruthers sitting in sixth. Craig Hawkins sitting seventh. Josh Mayu, eighth. David Dreckman, ninth. Paul D. Johnson, lap down from doing the green flag pit stop. He is there in 10th position. "35 laps to go." Still waiting to see when these guys are going to pit here. See if Paul D. Johnson should be able to make up a lot of time with a lot fresher tires. So looks like James O'Brien there now starting to get into lap traffic. Might slow him down just a little bit here. That's going to let Dale Robertson, but he's got a 4-second lead over Dale Robertson. Dustin Hall, he is sitting back about 6.5 seconds behind. So he's got some time to make up here. Lap 102, 34 laps to go. And I see some smoke on the road track. Who could that be from? I think that was from the 16 of Johnny Pierce. See if we can go see what happened to him. So we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay because he was smoking heavily coming down on pit road here. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened to him here. There he's coming down pit road. All right, here we go. See what happened to him. Maybe blew a motor. He just blew his motor coming out of the turn. Real unfortunate. Not the way the 16 of Johnny Pierce wanted to start his chase. But he is down on pit road, and they are hard at work trying to get that machine fixed. Blowing his engine here on lap 102. Still waiting on our leaders to pit. Only ones coming down the pit road so far. Well, Johnny Pierce is on pit road. Eric Roberts is on pit road. They have been for a long time now. Looks like Paul D. Johnson, Brandon Walter, and Eddie Hawks all have currently pitted. Still waiting for the rest of the field to come down on the pit road. As we are 31 laps to go, as the leader comes across the start finish, that's going to give us the 30 to go. Wonder when they're going to pit. That's just kind of, I mean, they're really pushing, but I'm looking at lap times. Paul D. Johnson's really not running. Let's see here. He's running 26 flats, but Dustin Hall's still running last lap. No, Paul D. Johnson running a 26.6, and the current leaders are running 27.4s, or 27.3 to 27.4s. So they are running almost about a second difference here. Dale Robertson there, as you see the 14 of Paul D. Johnson, he is in front of him. He is trying to get to James O'Brien to get back on the lead lap. Still got a long way to go to catch him, but he is on fresher tires here. As we're going to keep an eye on the 14 of Paul D. Johnson as he's working through his field here. Much fresher tires there. So he is kind of getting through these lap cars here in a hurry. We are taking a look. 109 of 135 laps completed, 27 laps to go. Paul D. Johnson making a charge. He is trying to get up to James O'Brien to get back on the lead lap. James O'Brien, he is still staying out. Been a long time since he's been down on pit road. Still running about a 27.6. Paul D. Johnson, a 26.6. So, just about a second difference there. So, question is when the longer that I think that, but the only question is once James O'Brien comes down and gets on the fresher tires, is he going to be able to hold off and get to the 14 of Paul D. Johnson? Because the question is he even going to pit? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our final commercial break of the night. We have 25 laps to go. We'll be right back here on the Dre Broadcasting Network.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to the race here. This is the 3D Concepts and Creations Chase for the Cup Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series Chase Race number 1. We are still being led by the 9 of James O'Brien. Taking a look at our top 10, 16 laps to go. We've got James O'Brien out front, Dale Robertson sitting second, Dustin Hall third. We got Jim Westerfield 4th, John LaBeouf 5th, Ken Carruthers 6th, Craig Hawkins 7th, 8th is Josh Mayu 9th, Paul D. Johnson back on the lead lap, and David Dreckman sitting there in 10th, 1 lap down. I don't know. It looks like maybe James O'Brien here is going to try to go without pitting. We are now 14 laps to go here in tonight's race. As we take a look here, is Dale Robertson. He is sitting in second. He is also kind of still pushing. He's got about, I don't know, it looks about 10 seconds, 11 seconds between him and Dustin Hall as this field is spread out as we are on a long green flag run. Only 2 cautions here tonight as we are now just looking 13 laps to go. These guys still running about the high 27s, low 28 second lap time. As we take a look through the rest of the field, not really much action going on. All pretty single file here. We got Ken Caruthers, John the Buff, and Craig Hawkins. They're kind of close to each other, not really pressuring each other. Lap 124 of 135. Well, now 11 laps to go. We are coming on 10 laps to go. Looks like James O'Brien is going to try to push us on fuel. Paulie Johnson, he pitted, but he is still showing 21 seconds behind our leader. Actually, 21 seconds, 21.8 seconds behind. So he has got some time to make up. He's on fresher tires, but the question is, does he have enough time to make that up? He's pushing that machine, but I don't know if he's going to catch him. As we are now 10 laps to go, this is James O'Brien still leading. He has led 99, coming up to 100 laps here. Led the most laps, so he's going to get that bonus point. But Dale Robertson, he's also going to get a bonus point here for leading a lap, coming in second. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we are watching the 3D Concepts and Creations chase for the Cup. PrecisionRacingLeague.com, check them out. They're going to be doing driver signups here soon as we are in the first race of the chase. They got 4 chase races. Tonight is here at Phoenix International Raceway. James O'Brien putting on a clinic out here. He's got about 8 seconds between him and Dale Robertson, who is sitting in second, looking good in that Budweiser machine. Jim Westerfield, he is sitting there in third. He's about 12 seconds behind our leader, James O'Brien. As we are 7 to go. So just 7 laps left remaining here. These guys still running 27-second lap times here. High 27, low 28. So looks like James Bryan is all in. Can he make it on fuel? That is going to be the question. Paulie Johnson, he's one of the guys that pitted, but he's still 19.9 seconds behind. So he's got a lot of ground to make up, running back in 8th position. See if we got any close battles here. Or 5 to go. 5 laps to go here. Is James O'Brien. He is putting on a clinic. Dale Robertson second. Jim Westerfield is sitting there in third. Dustin Hall, he is sitting there in fourth. And Ken Caruthers, your top 5 right now. Four laps to go. All James has got to do, does he got the fuel to make it? That's the question here. He is running 4 laps to go, coming through the dog leg. Is he going to be able to make it on fuel? That is the question. Paulie Johnson, he pitted. He is 17 seconds back. He is not going to be able to make it unless James O'Brien runs out of fuel. 3 laps to go here in race chase number 1. James O'Brien coming through the turn, trying to make it 2 to go. Is he going to win the first race of the chase here? As he is battling out, 2 laps to go. Does he have the fuel to make it? He is going to take the white flag next time around here. Dale Robertson, he is sitting in second. He's 7.3 seconds behind. Still a good showing here by the 3 of Dale Robertson. Coming out in second is James O'Brien. Takes the white flag. White flag is out. James O'Brien just kind of got a coast here. Is he going to be able to make it? Because looking at his speed, he's not really pushing too hard. So he may be low on fuel, but he is going to make it here as he is coming through the final turns, taking the checkered flag here in race chase number 1. Dale Robertson, he is going to finish second. Jim Westerfield is going to come out in third. Paulie Johnson, he is going to come out in fourth with, fifth place is going to be Ken Caruthers coming out for your final 5. Winner here tonight, chase race number 1, the 9 of James O'Brien. Just stay tuned. We're going to get some interviews here with our top 3. We see the smoke show there by James O'Brien. Stand by for race interviews. Well, we are going to start with our 3rd place, Jim Westerfield. Jim Westerfield, Dave Everly up in the Dre Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. Copy me.
I copy you loud and clear. What a good showing coming out tonight in a 3rd place. Tell us a little bit about your race out here tonight.
I had a great car. Early in the last run, I figured I'll try to save the gas and try to stretch it out to the end. I ran out crossing the finish line, so I did pretty good at estimating that.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you've been running up front all night tonight. We saw you make some great passes there. So what can we see from the rest of the chase? Are we going to see you up here battling these guys for these wins?
I gave it a good chance, but I will be respectful for him because I'm not in the chase. But I'll definitely give him a fight, that's for sure.
Most definitely. Well, there, Jim, before we let you go, is there any last shout out you'd like to give?
Give a shout out to Josh Mayu for helping me out with the setup before the race. Other than that, just thanking my sponsors for sponsoring my car and the sponsors for the race for putting on a good race.
All right, well, definitely congratulations on that 3rd place finish. We'll see you next week here on the Dre Broadcasting Network.
Thank you.
That was the 29 of Jim Westerfield. Now, let's get a word with the 2nd place driver, the 3 of Dale Robertson. Dale Robertson, Dave Everly up in the Dre Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, Dave?
How you doing? What an exciting race there. Tell us a little bit about your race out here tonight.
Pretty fast-paced from the start. I mean, I thought I could hold on to... Well, I held on to him pretty well. I thought I could hold on to James for longer. I couldn't really that much, but It went by pretty fast for me, especially that first run until the caution, and then after that I led a couple laps, so I'm not too mad at all about this race.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we did see you come out. You did lead 26 laps out here tonight. But unfortunately, James O'Brien, I don't know how he looked like he got shot out of a rocket. You think you could have done anything different to hold off the hard charge of that 9 machine? I
probably could have run a lower line going into 3 there when he passed me, but there would have been no point. He just would have got me at another point. I really was hoping I could beat him on fuel strategy because it didn't look like he was saving that much, and a bunch of people ran out, so I wasn't going to pit anyway, so I just figured I would stay out, see what happened, but it didn't work out like I wanted it to.
Well, definitely a good start here to the chase, coming out in 2nd place. What can we expect to see from the rest of the chase?
Well, we got Watkins Glen next week, so that's going to be a little bit of a wild card. I'm going to see how good I can do there, I'm not sure. And then after that we got Kentucky and Chicago, both low grip tracks, so I mean, it's going to be fun at least to see what we can find for speed, see if we can get a couple wins there and see if we can win this championship.
Most definitely. Well, congratulations on the 2nd place finish there, and as you said, we'll see you next week, Watkins Glen. Before we let you go, is there any shout outs you'd like to give?
I want to thank everybody at Simtech on Johnny and Dustin worked well with me this weekend. Chris from Overclock, everybody else from Overclock. I mean, we just got a really good team. We got a lot of speed. Going to see what we can do these next couple weeks.
All right. Well, definitely congratulations on coming out in 2nd place, and we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
All right. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 3 of Dale Robertson. Now for our race winner, the 9 of James O'Brien. James O'Brien, Dave Beverly up in the Dre Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What a showing out there from that 9 Auto Parts machine, leading 109 laps out there. Tell us how you came up with this setup, because it seemed like you just had this track dialed in.
It was actually just me and David again, and input from Brandon and Paul helped a lot. And Brandon's actually really good here, Brandon Walter, and he might have not got the position he wanted, but he was up here for a little bit, and he helped with the input because this is one of his favorite tracks. And I don't like this track that much. I always had pretty bad luck. A couple seasons ago, I self-spun into turn 1. I think it was last season. I wrecked myself, so I wasn't really having high hopes going in here. But the car was just like, the longer the run was, I could have went all 135 laps if I didn't have to pit. I was so happy with the car. The longer it went, the better it was. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it just seemed like that car was on rails. You just could do no wrong out there. I mean, we did see the 3 of Dale Robertson get out there and lead like 26 laps. What was going through your mind there? You seen kind of Dale pull away from you for a little bit?
Oh, I knew he was better on the short run. At the beginning of the race, too, he was hanging with me about a second back, and we would hold about steady. So I knew either I could just kind of cruise and I would reel him back in, but I seemed to have the center of 3 and 4 really well. I would go, especially after like 15 laps, I could just cruise through the center and the car would just rotate, and that's kind of how I picked him back off.
Well, next week we're changing paces, going to a little bit of a road course, going to Watkins Glen. What can we expect from you from Watkins Glen?
I'm going to sound arrogant, but a win. That is probably one of my favorite racetracks. I love racing road courses and the NASCAR stock cars. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, maybe we'll see you on Victory Lane there next week at Watkins Glen, because you sound pretty confident. Well, congratulations on the win out there tonight, winning the first race of the chase here at Phoenix International Raceway. Is there any final shout-outs you'd like to give?
Just to my team and you guys for broadcasting. I'm glad I hear you up there again. You've been kind of quiet lately, and I like your input a lot. And PRL, I'm excited for next season. They just put up the details, so if anybody's out there that wants to race, come sign up. They got the Truck Series Feeder League, and the more the merrier.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting near the end of the season here, you can definitely check out Precision Racing League at www.precisionracingleague.com. Get signed up. Well, congratulations there, James. We're going to let you go celebrate with your team. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
See you later, David. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you had it there. James O'Brien, leading 109 laps, comes away with the win here in Chase Race number 1. Taking a look here, we're going to go over our final results here tonight. Out front, you had James O'Brien, Dale Robertson coming in second. Jim Westerfield, third. Paul D. Johnson coming out in fourth. Ken Carruthers coming out in fifth. Craig Hawkins, sixth. Dustin Hall, seventh. Brandon Walter coming out in eighth. John LaBeouf finishing ninth. Eddie Hawks rounding out your top 10. Sitting there in 11th is Josh Mayu. Chris Perez, 12th. Ronald McManus, 13th. David Dreckman, 13th. Zach York finishing 14th. Eric Roberts finishing 15th. Johnny Pierce finishing 16th. Eric Roberts rounding out your field there in 17th position. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the race. It was a great race, but make sure to tune in to us next week as we go to Watkins Glen for Race Chase number 2. Once again, this is the 3D Concepts and Creations Chase for the Cup Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series. Check them out at www.precisionracingleague.com. We'll see you next week.